Hello Aquarius, this is Seth and you're watching Rodriguez Mystic, and this is your general brief tarot forecast for the month of November 2017 to look at the main influences that are coming up for you. Excuse me. The tarot deck that I'm working with today is the Morgan-GREER Tarot, which is one of my all-time favourite tarot decks. And the oracle decks that I'm working with today are the Angels, Gods and Goddesses deck by Toni, Carmine, Salerno, the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck by Victoria Moseley, and the Nature's Whispers Oracle cards by Angela Hartfield, and the artwork is by Josephine. So I'm just going to jump straight into this now, and I'm going to be shuffling the tarot, and we're looking at the main influences coming up for you in the month of November 2017 for Aquarius. Okay Aquarius, so the main theme, the main message for the month of November 2017 is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is about being aware of the progress that we are making. The guy here in the image is looking at some crops that has been growing. He's looking at the progress that has been made. It's about giving yourself a pat on the back for what you have accomplished so far, acknowledging what you have accomplished and how far you have come and really owning it, but also being very much aware that there's still a long way to go and it may well involve a different approach, and there's still a lot more time and effort that needs to go into this. So we may be feeling slightly put off by this, but it's really just encouraging you to stay on target and to keep going. You're making progress, you're doing well. Excuse me. I've just been recovering from a cold. So the main theme of November really seems to be like taking a little bit of a pause from what you have been doing. Any projects or courses of action or study that have been taken recently, this is just about looking at what you have accomplished so far, and kind of, I think November is going to be about planning as well the next phase of the work that you're doing. Whether we're talking about work in the traditional sense, such as if you are doing a course of study at the moment, but it can be about all kinds of things. It could be something that you're trying to improve with a relationship with a person. It could be all sorts. But with it being Pentacles, it does often relate to money and material possessions. And it could be talking about a course of study that you are doing with a particular career focus in mind. But if you've been working on improving your finances, this to me would suggest that you're making some good progress, but there's still a lot more money that needs to be saved and a lot more interesting ways of earning money that need to be contemplated and put into action. So that's the central message for the month of November 2017. The beginning of the month we have the Hierophant card, which is very much about putting others before yourself in order to accomplish a higher purpose. The Hierophant is very much about big institutions, big bodies of education, hospitals, houses of law, big companies that you may work for, traditional family values, any body that is some form of community where you are a small cog in a big wheel and there's a lot of laws and rules and regulations that you have to follow and abide by for the greater good, where you just play a part. And the Hierophant is somebody who maintains that, like a Catholic priest maintaining the tradition of the church, putting the community and the church before himself. So the beginning of the month may feel very much like it's about your obligations. You may be spending a lot of your time just doing your work, whatever it is that you do, and putting other people before yourself. Going into the middle of November, it looks more personal. We have the Queen of Cups, who's been coming up a lot in readings today. The Queen of Cups is a loving, compassionate figure who has a lot of love and support to give to another person. I feel that this can be referring to a whole host of different types of relationships with people that you may be spending time with the middle of this month, spending time with loved ones, getting love and support from others, and also being able to shower your own love onto other people. So the middle of the month feels more like a good time to spend time with family, friends and loved ones, whereas the beginning of the month feels like there's a heavy emphasis on work and putting others before yourself. And then finally, towards the end of the month, we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is a great sign to have when we have the Seven of Pentacles as the overall message. So the Knight of Pentacles is saying that more stability is going to be coming in for you. It feels like there's going to be more, there could well be some more financial security for you, and also that even though you may be daunted by all the new approaches that you may have to take in order to further your work or whatever it is that you're working on, the Knight of Pentacles here represents all that is steady and stable and reliable in your life, and saying that you've got what it takes to continue with all of this. This could well be a supportive person who would be good at listening and offering help and solutions in order for you to continue your work and get to where you want to be. And the Tips and Hints card is the Page of Swords. Keep fighting. Don't give up. The Page of Swords is somebody growing in confidence and power, somebody who is more vocal and speaks up for themselves more. And it really feels like you're being urged to be a bit of a warrior this month, to be honest with you, because there's a lot here about putting other people before yourself and not giving up on long-term goals. This Seven of Pentacles really fit to me because it's talking about how much more work there is to go. It feels like it's talking about a very long process that you're in the middle of working on. And the Page of Swords is just saying to be a fighter. I'm almost getting more vibes from the Strength card, actually, from this. Which is a weird thing that happens to me sometimes when I'm reading tarot. Sometimes I'll pull a card and I'll get an image of another card in my mind, and it feels like the strength aspect of this card is coming out, because the Page of Swords is somebody who's very strong and is learning to get stronger. So it really feels, and as well because the page is at the beginning of a journey, it feels to me like it's saying that, you know, there's so much more work to be done, there's such a long way ahead of you, and it's saying you're in it for the long haul, work at it and don't give up. From the Oracle cards, from Nature's Whispers, we have got You Are Worth It. This is encouraging you not to be disheartened. It's saying you can do this, you are worth it, you are worth all of this work you're putting in. Don't give up, basically. So it's actually talking here about having that inner strength, not to give up, to see this through. Next we have the Wisdom card from Vintage Wisdom, from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck. Wisdom card really seems to tie in nicely for me with the Hierophant card. It's about being wise about when we have to put others before ourselves, doing things with a greater picture in mind. And I really feel that the big message for you this month is to be aware of the bigger picture, to really think about things in a much grander scale. This month just feels like it's just a drop in the ocean in terms of progress you'll be making. It feels like it's encouraging you to be aware of the big grand plan that you are working towards at the moment that is quite a long way off. And then finally we have Angel of Vision from the Angels, Gods and Goddesses deck, and it says someone is not revealing part of the story. Trust your feelings over what others say. So if you do feel, it's interesting that we have this card when we also have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords, as I said, is about being very vocal and speaking out, and being a bit of a warrior, speaking out to protect other people, speaking about any injustices that you see around you. So the Angel of Vision here is saying that if you do feel that something is up with people you work with or people in your family, people in your social environment, be aware of this, think of what could be the problem and be vocal and speak out about it, because there are people that you can rely on here with the Knight of Pentacles, and it really does feel like it's encouraging you to speak out for the greater good. I can't remember which sign it was, but I read for another sign very recently today, and it was like a much stronger version of this message. It was very much about putting others before yourself. But the biggest message that I'm getting from your cards, the biggest overall message, is to just keep that big picture in mind, that what you're working towards, there's still a long way to go. Don't be disheartened by it. You are worth it. You can do this. It will be worth it in the end. So that's the message I get for you, Aquarius. I hope that that helps. Please feel free to like, comment, rate or share my video, and feel free to subscribe to my channel. You can find all of my social media details below this video if you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, or check out my blog. You can also find information on how you can book a personal tarot reading with me if you would like something that would be much more in depth than this reading. You can also find all the information about the decks that I've been working with today as well. So Aquarius, take care, and until next time, I'll see you soon.